Okay, welcome to this training video. So you can see it is some authentication and security related training video in Laravel. Okay, it's about just how to provide authentication and security when you implement some sort of web application or website using Laravel. It is actually taken from here mostly. So if you go to the web page and read it, you will get this information. However, presentation, I think I just broke it down into step by step. This may help. Anyway, I would actually just go through the slides. I will be mostly silent. I may try to describe at a later time. Okay, thank you. Or should I describe? Probably I can. So, some security configuration here. You can see that in app config app.php in Laravel, there is a file app.php. You can set on security settings here. There will be an associative array and there will be a key. It will be exactly spelled as KEY. You have to give a encryption key that will be used for all of the encryption purpose. And Laravel uses 256-bit. Okay, it's maybe advanced encryption standard. And you can find the algorithm for AES here, just lightly. Okay, and you should use a 32-bit 32 character key, otherwise the encryption may not become secure. Okay, and this is for authentication configuration. The previous one, it was for security configuration, and this is for authentication configuration. Actually, authentication is one sort of security. Yeah, you cannot let the user do whatever he wants to do. So you need to authenticate the user, and authorization is another concept. After authenticate, you can authorize the user what he can do and what he or she cannot do. Actually, the best security strategy is providing the minimal right. However, configuring that will require more time and more thought. But you can create different levels of users and groups. And I'm not going there. So in this file, this is the configuration that you can set. Driver, you can use eloquent or you can use database. Model, you can use the user model. I think Laravel comes up with a user model built in. Don't delete it, use it. And there will be a database table, users. So this user model by default will be using this users database table. You have to create it. And this reminder settings, it will be used if you want to provide the password reminder feature, then you need to use this. This is the email where the password reminder will be sent to, and this is the table where the reminder key or all those stuff will be set. Expire, expiration set is here. As I told you, can use eloquent or database model for authentication, database table, reminder configuration. So if you do not want to use eloquent, you can use database authentication. Here, driver. In that case, you can use the database operation using the query builder stuff. And if you use eloquent, you need to use eloquent authentication driver. You can use the model user. Password is a minimum password field in the database, has to be 60 character minimum. And And for data manipulation, you will be using ORM based data manipulation. So there are some authentication related built-in Laravel functions. Just check. It is to make the hash. It is to check hash with the existing hash, create and check, recreate the hash, authentication attempt, try to authenticate, check if the user is logged in or not, authentication based on the cookie. If the user is already logged in and we remember his login status in the cookie, then we can use this authentication user. Then we can access the user information, the logged in user information using this method. We can log in the user using his ID. We can validate the user credentials without logging him in. Just one-time login, log in, log out. We can set parameters for encryption here, and encrypt method, it can encrypt some stuff, and decrypt, it can decrypt the encrypted value. This is for password validation. Anyway, so if we want to set the password from the password set form or something, we can create the hash and store it in the database table. So storing plain password is not a good idea for sure. And let's see. So just checking here. So authentication method can look like, if the user is not already logged in, we'll try to authenticate the user, just attempt to authenticate. So these are the values the user has provided through a form, and these will be matched against the corresponding field in the database. As you can see, if the authentication is successful, the user will be redirected to the dashboard. So authentication attempt, it will be automatically triggered the authentication login method if the authentication attempt is successful. Okay, if we want to authenticate the user in addition to matching the ID and password, the user also have to be active status, not suspended or banned user. So in that case, we can use something like this. You can see the active one. So in addition to email as username and password, still those field has to match, and also the user has to be active. So in Laravel will recreate the session or regenerate the session after successful login for extra security. If you don't use Laravel, just the plain PHP code, you need to do it. Or if you have your own class for authentication purpose, you can implement it there as well. So if you want to remember the user's login status, we can set true here, and then later we can re-authenticate this user based on his login status, as will be set in the cookie because of this true. So this is the re-authentication by reminder login cookies. So as I told, if you want to retrieve the information about the authenticated and logged in user, we can use this. Just we can check user credentials without logging him in. This is for the logout. Okay, password reset and reminders. So if you want to provide the option to reset the password, can use this. Actually, first user will be reminded, reminder email, password reminder, email will be sent to the user's email. Then you can use the password reset form to reset the password. I actually did not implement it yet. So whatever I will say, it is just my assumption. They will be for the most part right. If not, it will be very close. Okay. So we can use Laravel's strategy, Laravel built-in capability to send the reminder email and to reset the password. So the steps will be like this, and there will be a password reminder form where you can give the email or you can use the built-in email settings to initiate the password reminder request, and password reset link will be sent to the email. Laravel will be doing this, and after that email click or email link click, there will be a reset form where you can reset the password. So this will be the steps. Now you can use some artisan command, PHP artisan command, to create the password reminder related database tables and the controllers, to create tables and the controller, and this controller will have all the required methods for these steps. So what you have to write, you have to create two view files, and within these view files you have to write two form. One will be the reminder form, another will be the reset form. And another step that you have to make sure that the user model that you are using, that must have to implement the remindable interface. If the user model implements this interface, then the artisan commands will be able to automatically create the table and the controller, and it will also be able to write those corresponding methods. So you can see PHP artisan auth reminders. It will be creating the reminder tables. Migration database migrations will be created using this, and this will be the reminder controller. So the controller will have all the methods. You just need to create the view files. This will be the reminder form. You can see the action post reset, reminders controller post reset. Okay, so you could also actually use the Laravel syntax here: form, scope resolution operator, open. Okay, this is the password reset form where you will be setting it. Okay, here you can see this is for the to prevent the CSRF cross-site request forgery attempt. To prevent that, it's not part of the reset, but it's good that you always put it as part of the Laravel. I think in post or put method, Laravel automatically puts this. So this is the stuff. So this is the reference. Anyway, if you don't understand my voice, you can just go through the slide and you will understand it. Yeah, probably I will try to make the quality better in near future. Thank you. Have a good day, good night. Bye bye.